Hello everyone! If you ever stood in front of a shelf full of cone drippers, wondering which one is actually right for your brews, this video is definitely for you. Today, I want to walk you through some of the most popular cone drippers out there. From the classic Hario V60 to the newer designs like UFO, Origami, and Timemore. I've used all of this in different brewing situations, so I'll share what I have noticed and what I like about each one, depending on the coffee or the kind of brew I am after. Let's start with materials. You'll usually see ceramic, plastic, and metal, and each one brings something different to your brewing experience. First, metal. It looks super sleek and retains heat really well at the beginning, but once you start brewing, it tends to cool down faster, which can be a good thing for medium to dark kind of roasting approach. What's great about it though is how durable and lightweight it is. It's basically unbreakable, so it's perfect for travel or an on-the-go setup. Ceramic, on the other hand, feels solid and classic, like the kind of dripper that makes you want to slow down and enjoy the brew. It retains heat beautifully once it's warmed up, though it might take a few uses or preheats to really hold that ideal temperature. I love using ceramic when I'm brewing at home and want that stable, cozy extraction, but yeah, it's a bit fragile, so I'm always a little more careful with it. Plastic, surprisingly impressive. It's lightweight, super affordable, and honestly great for beginners. Since it doesn't absorb as much heat, it helps keep your brewing temperature more consistent, especially if you're not preheating everything. Most of my travel brews are done with plastic drippers. They are tough, forgiving, and they just work. Now let's get into the designs, because this is where things get really interesting. Each of these drippers brews coffee a little differently, but understanding the variables and geometry of your dripper and how to approach it gives you the flexibility to achieve the cup you want, no matter which one you have now or are planning to get. Let's start with the classic, the V60. It has that 60-degree angle and spiral ribs that allows for a faster drawdown. It gives you a bit of a bypass on the sides of your brew, and this has quietly become the industry standard for pour-over. I usually recommend this for new homebrewers who are just getting started and want to understand how to dial things in and adjust all the variables. From here, you can explore any other dripper you like. The Hario Mugen is like the chill cousin of the V60. It has a flat interior with no spiral ribs and is ideal as well for one-pour brews. It allows things down and extends the contact time with the coffee, which gives you a more even extraction. I love using this on days when I don't want to think too hard, just pour and wait. The ceramic version keeps things more fancy, while the plastic one is a great everyday dripper if you like a more passive approach. It's designed also to limit bypass, meaning your water is really spending time with the coffee, often leading to a higher extraction and deeper sweetness in the cup, ideal for light roasted coffee. Then there's the Origami. Easily one of the most beautiful drippers out there. But it's not just pretty. The 16 ribs and open airflow give you a fast drawdown, but you can play with filters and pouring techniques to slow it down if you want. What I love most is the flexibility. You can use Galita-style flat filters or the usual cone-shaped ones, and it responds really well to recipe changes. It's ideal for expressive, juicy brews, especially with highly processed coffees, the kind that makes you raise your eyebrows after the first sip. I use it a lot when I'm working with fruity single origins and want to bring out clarity. Now the UFO dripper. This one is not your usual cone dripper. It's made of plastic or ceramic and has this opposite diagonal ridges that create air channels. What it does is encourage intentional brewing bypass while maintaining a slower flow. The obvious difference is the angle. It has 80-degree angle, so the depth of the coffee bed creates that effective turbulence. That means better agitation and more even saturation of the grounds. It's like a cross between the clarity of the V60 and the sweetness and body you'd get from the flat bottom brewer. It gives a really decent brews and it's definitely fun to play around with. And finally, the Timemore Crystal Eye. It has this wave-like internal design and 3 flow zones that naturally guide your pour. It's kind of brilliant because it reduces the chances of channeling and creating that balance gap you are aiming. The clear plastic version is especially helpful. You can actually see how your water is flowing through the coffee, which is great for learning or dialing in your technique. I often recommend this to people who want something consistent and clean but don't want to overcomplicate things. So which dripper should you choose? It really depends on what you are looking for. If you're just starting and want to learn full control and understand how to dial in every variable, go with a V60 or Timemore Crystal Eye. If you want something more hands-off and consistent, try the Mugen. And if you like to experiment and adjust your recipes depending on your beans, the Origami is a great upgrade. And if you're into clarity and want something with a fun, futuristic design, the UFO is definitely worth exploring. Let me know in the comments which dripper you're currently using or if there is one you are thinking about trying. I'd love to hear your thoughts or help answer any brewing questions you will have. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the description for more brewing tips, gear breakdown, and link to each dripper we talk about today. Happy brewing!